July 18th, 1993, the Boston Red Sox are hosting the Seattle Mariners. It's the bottom of the first inning, and the Seattle Mariners pitcher is 6'10" Randy Johnson, left-handed pitcher. The batter is Mike Greenwell. Mike Greenwell gets hit by an 0-2 fastball by Randy Johnson. Mike Greenwell's comment after the game was this. He said he didn't see Randy Johnson's fastball until it was 2 feet from hitting him on the ear flap of his helmet. With a guy 6'10", who knows from a tough hitting background, I never picked it up until it was too late. My ear was buzzing like a gun had gone off right next to it.
Delivering the most sports in HD. Chip Carey, Ron Darling, Buck Martinez, pleased to be joined as well by our reporter, Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, when Tony Conigliaro was making a comeback for the Red Sox in 1969, he said he had a hard time picking up the ball in front of the sunlit fans. So the Red Sox put in this tarp you may have heard about in the pregame show. But the problem is that this tarp is not big enough to provide a contrast for a right-handed batter in front of a tall lefty like John Lester. According to Dr. Mark Weiner, ophthalmologist at Harvard, the image of the ball is picked up through the cornea and the pupil. It is focused by the lens, seen by the retina, and sent by electrical image through the optic nerve to the brain. And on sunny days like today, there's not enough contrast to provide a clear image.
Thank you very much, Craig. I thought seeing the ball hit the ball was a lot simpler than that, huh?
No wonder I couldn't hit. I couldn't figure all that stuff out.
So basically what we can get from this reporter is this. The hitters are having a hard time picking up the pitch with the sunlit fans in center field, especially behind lefties like John Lester. The batter's eye, or the tarp covering the center field seats, isn't wide enough to block out the fans behind the left-handed pitcher. There's not enough contrast to give a hitters a clear image of the ball. So as you can see now, there is a lot of value with a good batter's eye behind center field, behind the pitcher. The Red Sox for many years in Fenway Park have neglected this, and you can see by pictures there were fans in center field seats. And lately the seats have been covered with tarps, but obviously it's still not wide enough to give contrast to left-handed pitchers. And just in case, if you are curious why didn't Ted Williams have any trouble hitting in Fenway Park, well, if you look at his greatest year, 1941, when he had 606 at-bats, and he had batted a batting average of .406, you can look it up, that astoundingly he never reached base that year on a fielder's error. Amazing. Okay, so I digressed just a short bit there. So what's the point of the batter's eye, and where does this lead us in the value of having a good contrast background behind the pitcher? Well, it's just to show us and to reinforce to us that how valuable it is to the batter to see the ball early in the flight path, and how it affects the process or the next stages down into where the ball meets the hitting area, and how the hitter responds to the ball once it gets to the hitting area. You see, most hitting coaches, and I was included into this bunch years and years ago, that all we wanted to delve into and study is the last area where the ball is, and the hitting and swing techniques to get to the ball. But we're not factoring in enough how important it is when the ball is in that first section of delivery, when it's still in the pitcher's hand. How do we respond, how well we see it early in the flight path? Previously, I shared with the audience how if you can divide the area between the batter and the pitcher in 3 sections. You have sections 1, 2, and 3. Well, most hitting coaches and most hitting philosophies are really just delving into what it is the hitter doing when the ball is in section 3. And we analyze up and down, upside down, and all around where the body parts are. And we're not factoring in, that all the body parts are just contingent upon how well the hitter sees the ball early in the flight path. Had Mike Greenwell saw the pitch from Randy Johnson earlier in the flight path and not when it was 2 feet in front of him, it might have been different results, obviously, and maybe got out of the way. And that's the whole point. When you have tougher backgrounds, when you're hitting and you can't see the ball when it's coming out of a cloud or the sky or a tree, poor hitting backgrounds, when you see these things in sometimes colleges or high schools or even youth league games, it factors in to the hitter's swing mechanics. So as coaches, what do we tell our players? Just see the ball out of the pitcher's hand? Well, that's a difficult task.
The expression is, keep your eye on the ball. But when you're trying to hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, is that even possible? To find out, we brought in Nomar Garciaparra and wired him up with our eye-tracking technology to record where he's looking. As the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, it takes the brain 1/10 of a second just to locate the ball in space. While this is happening, the ball travels over 12 feet.
So what this reporter just told the audience was basically when a hitter is facing a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, that he will not pick up the ball's flight path until it is 12 feet from where the pitcher started. The baseball lore tells us that we're going to see the ball out of the pitcher's hand. Well, I had a hard time with that when I was a player, and I thought I was a pretty good player. When someone said, Dave, if it's a fat wrist, it's going to be a fastball. If it's a skinny wrist, it's going to be a curveball. As a player, I just didn't have the guts to tell the coaches and other players, I can't see that. But now, from the coaching perspective and studying this, that we know now when a pitcher goes to external into internal rotation, it is extremely fast. Sports science backs up my thought as a player, and that I don't see the ball until it's 12 feet past the pitcher. Now, that is when you see you're good. What happens to a player who does not have good contrast, a great hit batter's eye? When a hitter does not pick up the ball early in the flight path at 12 feet away on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, maybe he picks it up 13 feet, 14 feet, 15 feet, 16 feet, 17, maybe 20 feet in. Maybe the ball is halfway to the batter. And then he finally picks up the ball. What we see is a player or hitter who now is acting in desperation. And he'll do whatever it takes to get that bat down into the strike zone.
Okay. But the point is that I started getting ready way earlier, and that's what's allowed me to be consistent on a more regular basis, and also to pick up the ball better. Okay. But the point is that I started getting ready way earlier, and that's what's allowed me to be consistent on a more regular basis, and also to pick up the ball better, and also to pick up the ball better, pick up the ball better, pick up the ball better, pick up the ball better.
So just to reiterate what Jose just said to the audience was he found more consistency when his rhythm was being established, or his load was earlier inside of the pitcher's delivery. Now I want to point out to you through our studies that that's Jose Batista's tempo. There's players like Rafael Soriano and Derek Jeter and Jose Reyes. Their tempo is quicker. It's not like Jose's. So does that fit for everybody? It fits for everybody who has a demeanor where Jose doesn't mind waiting for the pitcher. Like Jeter and Reyes, they don't want to wait around. So the bottom line is there is a direct connection with improving timing and improving the vision. Inside of this element, deep inside the crevices, is the idea of adrenaline and the idea of striking position and the idea of jumping the gun. And also the vision. All these are golden nuggets to helping the hitter to assimilate better and to fit in and become in sync with the pitcher's delivery. This is what the best hitters in the game have mastered. The only issue is they can't describe it. They just feel it. Once you can feel it and then have knowledge to back up what you feel and describe it, it's such a great combination to have both together. When you have both together, the knowledge with the feeling, then you can recreate this when you make a mistake. So to summarize everything, where we started from was the idea that how important it is to see the ball early in the flight path. Most coaches can tell you that anyways, but who's going to tell you how to do it physically? Not the ball drills, not the eye chart drills. We see from Jose Batista's example that timing will improve your vision. We have pioneered a new frontier for hitting coaches, a new perspective. And along with learning how to time the whole swing together, there is a lot of explanation to teach someone how to time their vision. And part of it is with how they're going to look at the pitcher and how they're going to understand what is the pitcher's common denominator and what is the pitcher's tempo and what is the hitter's tempo and how to fit in together with the pitcher. Please, I encourage you, if you are a player or a coach and you have passion for this game and you want to play it or coach it at the highest level, consider the world's greatest hitting formula.